hero. You were meant to be. This is a war for the fate of your world. You were born to be a champion.
The story of Mortal Kombat 2 continues directly from the brutal and unfinished conflict that left Earthrealm standing on the edge of annihilation. This chapter feels darker, more intense, and far more personal, as the consequences of the first tournament ripple outward and force every fighter to confront what they are truly fighting for. The fragile balance between realms is more unstable than ever, and the illusion that the war could be delayed or avoided is completely shattered. From the very beginning, there is a sense that the rules no longer matter, and survival will demand sacrifices greater than anyone anticipated. Earthrealm's warriors are no longer newcomers trying to understand their destiny. They are battle-scarred fighters carrying the weight of loss, fear, and unfinished business. The victory they once believed they achieved now feels hollow, as new threats emerge that are more organized, more ruthless, and far more powerful. The enemy is no longer testing Earthrealm, they are preparing to conquer it. This shift transforms the story from a defensive struggle into an all-out war where hesitation can mean extinction. At the center of the narrative, familiar champions wrestle with the cost of their choices. Each fighter carries scars, both physical and emotional, that shape how they approach the next conflict. Some are driven by vengeance, fueled by the memory of fallen allies and shattered homes. Others are motivated by duty, believing that protecting Earthrealm is a responsibility that outweighs personal desires. These contrasting motivations create tension within the group, reminding viewers that even heroes are divided by fear, grief, and pride. The villains of Mortal Kombat 2 are no longer lurking in the shadows. They step forward with confidence, cruelty, and overwhelming force, making it clear that mercy is not part of their strategy. Their presence dominates the story, not just through brute strength, but through psychological manipulation and intimidation. They exploit weaknesses, sow doubt among the defenders, and push the fighters to their breaking points. This makes the conflict feel relentless, as if Earthrealm is being crushed from all sides at once. The realms themselves play a larger role in this chapter. Locations feel harsher, more dangerous, and infused with ancient power. Every arena, battlefield, and stronghold carries history, bloodshed, and the echoes of past tournaments. These environments are not just backdrops for combat. They shape the fights, influence strategies, and heighten the sense of danger. Fighters are forced to adapt quickly, learning that the terrain itself can be as deadly as their opponents. Combat in Mortal Kombat 2 is more brutal and unforgiving, emphasizing the raw violence that defines the franchise. Each fight feels personal, driven by emotion rather than spectacle alone. Victories are hard-earned, and defeats come with lasting consequences. The choreography focuses on impact and intensity, making every clash feel like a test of will as much as strength. Pain is not brushed aside, it lingers, reminding everyone that power always comes with a price. As the story unfolds, alliances are tested and unexpected partnerships form. Characters who once stood on opposite sides find themselves forced to cooperate in the face of a greater threat. These uneasy alliances add complexity to the narrative, blurring the line between friend and enemy. Trust becomes a fragile currency, easily broken but desperately needed. Every agreement feels temporary, hanging by a thread of necessity rather than loyalty. A major theme running through the story is destiny versus choice. Many fighters are told that their paths are predetermined, that their fates were written long before they ever stepped into the arena. Mortal Kombat 2 challenges this idea by showing characters who refuse to accept a future decided by others. They fight not just against external enemies, but against the belief that they are powerless to change their own outcomes. This struggle gives emotional depth to the action, transforming battles into acts of defiance. The emotional core of the film lies in the relationships between the fighters. Bonds forged in combat are tested by betrayal, fear, and impossible decisions. Some characters grow closer, finding strength in shared pain, while others drift apart, unable to reconcile their differences. Loss plays a significant role, serving as a constant reminder of what is at stake and fueling the determination to keep fighting even when hope feels distant, mysticism and ancient lore become more prominent, deepening the mythology of the Mortal Kombat universe. The origins of certain powers, the history of the realms, and the true purpose of the tournament are explored with greater intensity. These revelations reshape how characters understand the conflict, revealing that the war is far older and more complex than they ever imagined. Knowledge becomes both a weapon and a burden, exposing truths that can either inspire courage or crush morale. As the stakes rise, the line between hero and monster begins to blur. Some fighters are pushed so far that they question their own humanity, wondering if victory is worth becoming something they despise. Others embrace the darkness within, believing that ruthless strength is the only way to survive. This moral ambiguity adds weight to the story, forcing the audience to confront uncomfortable questions about power, justice, and sacrifice. The pacing of Mortal Kombat 2 builds steadily toward chaos. Quiet moments of reflection and preparation are interwoven with sudden eruptions of violence, keeping tension high throughout. These pauses allow characters to process their fears and reaffirm their resolve, making the ensuing battles feel more meaningful. Every calm moment carries an undercurrent of dread, as if everyone knows that something far worse is coming. As the conflict escalates, Earthrealm's fighters realize that winning individual battles may not be enough. The enemy's strategy is larger, more calculated, and designed to break resistance through attrition. This realization forces the heroes to think beyond survival and consider long-term consequences. They must decide what they are willing to sacrifice to protect not just their world, but the future of those who will come after them. The climax of the story delivers a convergence of all these themes: destiny, choice, loyalty, and sacrifice in a series of confrontations that push every character to their limit. These battles are not just about physical dominance, but about proving one's worth, resolving inner conflict, and making peace with the cost of war. The outcome feels hard-fought and uncertain, reinforcing the idea that victory in Mortal Kombat is never clean or complete. In the aftermath, the world is changed. Even if Earthrealm survives, it does so with scars that may never fully heal. The fighters who remain are not the same people who entered the conflict. They carry new burdens, new responsibilities, and a deeper understanding of what it means to stand against overwhelming darkness. Survival itself becomes a form of victory, earned through pain and perseverance. Mortal Kombat 2 ultimately expands the scope of the franchise while staying true to its brutal roots. It delivers intense action, deeper character exploration, and a darker emotional tone that elevates the story beyond simple tournament combat. By focusing on the cost of power and the strength required to face one's destiny, the film transforms violence into meaning and spectacle into substance. This chapter reinforces why Mortal Kombat endures as a powerful myth of combat and survival. It is not just about who wins a fight, but about why they fight, what they are willing to lose, and how far they will go to protect their world. Mortal Kombat 2 leaves audiences with the sense that the war is far from over, and that every victory only brings the next, more dangerous challenge closer, keeping the flame of conflict burning brighter than ever.